A Chase study carried out in the previous year found that more than 70% of consumers wasted more than $50 per month on recurring payments for things that they didn't want or need. This is a result of people signing up for free trials and failing to cancel when the trial period expires. These, amidst many other meaningless things, might just be the reason why you waste money monthly, or it seems like your monthly budgets just don't cut it anymore. And we're here to disclose all those things you might be wasting your money on monthly. Hello viewers, welcome to Brainfield, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click on the post notification icon to get more videos like this. Let's start this video with a well-relatable story. George and Michelle have been married for 4 years and somehow they have hardly kept track of their budgets, and seemingly everything with their family finances seems top-notch. Then George gets a new job which is not as paying as the other one because he is still in school and finances are a little tight. Naturally, they have to re-budget and set things right. Here, the skeleton is all out to bear, and they both realize they have been spending a ton of money on things they thought didn't cost much. For example, doing takeouts and cheap burgers. All these cheap burgers accumulated to $4,000 every year on fast foods alone. So they cut this habit out and decide they have to buy groceries more, and by the end of the year, they had saved $3,000. They also decide to stay strictly within their budget without a little slip, because as the famous saying goes, little drops of water make a mighty ocean, and these daily takeouts were taking a big chunk from their monthly budget. George and Michelle can be you, because even if you are not married like them, there is always that human tendency to want to spend as little money per time without considering the sum of it all, and there are those things we spend money on that if we stood to consider the amount they accumulate to be. And this video aims to help you see, just like George and Michelle, those unnecessary things you are spending your money on that eventually amount to taking a big chunk from your budget. 10 things you are wasting your money on monthly. Number 10. Buying brand name products. One of the most underused ways to save money on a variety of things has to be using store and generic brands. There's a good likelihood that your neighborhood grocery or drug shop carries store brands of anything from food to skincare to over-the-counter medications. Look at the labels. The ingredients are typically nearly the same, so you don't have to spend money on well-known brand names. Additionally, if you have a prescription, your pharmacist may occasionally be able to provide you with the generic form of your meds. They function the same as the name brand, and if your copay is large, they can help you save quite a bit of money. Number 9. Paying so much for simple car repairs. Fewer and fewer people are learning the fundamentals of car care, perhaps as a result of our busier schedules and preference for hiring professionals to complete maintenance tasks. However, if you take your automobile for a shop for any minor issue, money will be flying out of your wallet if you own a car. Many of the more straightforward auto issues can be resolved without the help of a professional mechanic, and even basic maintenance chores can be finished at home. There are many simple and useful instructional films available, which is a terrific thing for car owners in the internet age. The ability to tune up your car has increased, but that doesn't imply you can just start banging on your engine with a socket wrench. But with a little help, you'll have the ability to tune up your car for cheaper than you think. Number 8. Throwing out products because they are newly expired. Expiration dates may be more authoritative for some perishable goods, but you can typically tell when something is starting to spoil by the strange scents or colors that appear. However, if the food has been stored in a cool, dry environment, the expiration date on the package isn't the only factor to consider. Practically every dried food, including cereal, uncooked pasta, and dried beans, is the most prominent example of this. If you don't believe you'll make it in time, you can freeze any things that ordinarily spoil when their labels say they would, such as raw meat or bread, and they will be okay when you thaw them again. You can also use online databases to look up the actual shelf life of certain foods and compare them with what the label says. Number 7. Paying for cable. Millennials and tech whizzes may seem to be the only ones who can cut the cord without giving up some of their favorite TV shows. However, there are a ton of streaming services for TV shows, movies, and other content that is not available through cable, and their availability, quality, and variety will only increase over time. Almost all streaming services are less expensive than paying for cable or satellite, and you don't have to pay for extra channels you never view. Naturally, you can't just idly browse stations any longer, but that doesn't mean that doing so would have made watching TV amazing in the first place. Number 6. Couponing when not needed. Coupons do help you save a little money, but if you use them merely for fun or to trick yourself into thinking you'll buy the items on the sale site, you're still wasting cash. Even if it adds just $5 more to your regular purchase, don't use coupons as an excuse to make purchases you wouldn't otherwise make. When you could be concentrating on coupons and discounts when you genuinely need them, you'll find yourself doing it much more frequently than you meant. Use only coupons for items you've previously purchased. This is just an exception if you're making a pricey but necessary purchase that you don't typically need to make, like a car repair that you definitely cannot perform yourself, and you're able to find a special coupon or discount for it. Number 5. Skimping on health and hygiene habits. You may believe you'll avoid it, but you most likely can't. Your dentist isn't just on a power trip. You must take care of your teeth if you don't want to end up having to pay for the excruciatingly expensive dental repair shortly. No matter how invincible you feel, not washing your hands, drinking and eating unhealthy foods, and just not taking care of yourself in general will all catch up with you. Make the wise decision by balancing the prospective medical costs with the short-term inconvenience of forming new habits. Number 4. Your bank fees and bank in general. Small fees might accumulate over time to represent a sizable amount of money lost, whether you're paying them for checking account maintenance or for using an out-of-network ATM. According to a Bankrate poll, the average monthly charge for non-interest checking accounts, aside from free checking accounts, was a little over $5 last year, while the fee for interest-bearing checking accounts was over $16 for individuals who didn't qualify for fee-free status. Switch banks. According to Bankrate, almost half of checking accounts have no monthly maintenance costs at all. If you can't avoid monthly fees with your existing bank, the cost of those fees will probably be greater than the interest you are currently receiving on that account. Number 3. Food waste. The Natural Resources Defense Council estimates that up to 40% of the food produced in the United States is never consumed. Even though your household may be throwing away less food than the average, we can all admit to having to throw away wilted salad greens or leftovers that were brought home from a restaurant. Before you leave for the grocery store, check your refrigerator. Then base your meal plans, as well as your shopping list, on the supplies you already own. By doing this, you'll be less inclined to buy expired groceries and more likely to use up the items you already have before they spoil. Number 2. Credit card interest. Households generally spend $1,000 annually on high-interest debt and credit card fees, according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Although credit cards can be helpful, when you carry a balance, they turn into an expensive burden that can hurt your finances. Reduce the waste. If you are in debt, concentrate on paying off your current load and put your credit cards on hold for the time being. It's generally a good idea to put your credit card away and use cash or a debit card instead if you're struggling with credit card debt. Number 1. Overpaying for insurance. Home and vehicle insurance premiums often increase over time, as is the case with most other services, so if you've been with the same provider for a while, you might want to shop around to see if you can find a better deal. Andrea Warrock, a specialist in consumer savings, said, "New customers get new customer deals. You might be able to locate insurance for less monthly that provides the same or greater coverage." To acquire insurance rates, visit websites like thezebra.com or Policy Genius Online. You might be able to use those quotations as leverage in bargaining for a lower premium if you're satisfied with your current coverage and provider. Combine your house and auto insurance with the same company, or raise your deductible to reduce your costs. Warrock claimed that by following these 2 steps, she was recently able to reduce her insurance costs by $1,100 a year. Perhaps a little bonus. If you recall at the beginning, we talked about a survey that talked about people paying for stuff they didn't need. One reason for this is that many people sign up for free trials but don't cancel them before the trial time is over. An expert adds, that's an easy way to throw money out the window, because these items are set on autopay and people are not aware they're paying for something they don't even use. Even if your credit cards are set up for automatic payments, a wise move to prevent late payment fees, carefully review your statement each month and cancel any charges for goods or services you don't use. Take a review of your budgets. Track your spending for previous months and see excesses in your spending you can begin to cut, and areas where you have been overlooking that might need more funds, for example, your savings. This is because savings should be a vital part of your monthly allocations. Which of these things do you think you have been spending money on? Which ones are you cutting back on from now on? Let us know in the comment sections. Don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful or interesting. Also, share it with people who would find this video helpful in knowing where their money is going. Till the next time, we'll bring you another video.